Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Erica Lehman from DLR Group Architects. Had the pleasure of working with the community over at C. Elizabeth Rieg on this project for about the last year and a half. So I get to share with you some of the exciting work that we've done there. It's been largely completed, as Ms. Blake was saying. So for those of you who aren't familiar with C. Elizabeth Rieg, this is a regional school, so it serves students who are severely affected in the county and can't be supported in their neighborhood schools. So they reach from the area you sort of see in the brown boundary. That's the area that serves that C. Elizabeth Rieg serves, and it serves students really running across the whole grade spectrum who have special needs and are served in this particular program. You'll see in some of the images that the school really needed some help. So some of the upgrades that we were able to make on the project really were major systems upgrades. So those are things that support the building, such as HVAC systems, fire alarm systems, sprinklers, new lighting throughout, new interior finishes throughout. So we really were able to set this building up to last those teachers and students and families really for decades and decades to come. In addition to that, we had some academically focused interior renovation work that we did, particularly with this special needs population. Some of those spaces that were critical were things like the health suite and OT/PT rooms, really ways that we could increase the usefulness of those spaces, the size of some of those spaces, and really overall upgrade and renovate those spaces. In addition, we did a lot of interior upgrades to get new flooring, new painting. So you'll see the photos. It looks like a very different building today than it did just about a year and a half ago. And then in addition to that, we have sort of FF&E, which is furniture, fixtures, and equipment in sort of architecture lingo. And so that's some of the new technology for the classrooms, some new furniture or built-in cabinets that would go into the academic and support spaces, as well as some new furniture for the whole building. Some we have relocated some existing furniture. So I'm going to run through just so you can see some of the things that we achieved here. So things that have already been completed to date. You'll see before and after photos. So the before is on the left here, that's the existing entry. We didn't really make a huge number of changes to that entry, but we were able to sort of paint it, upgrade it, give it a little additional life to go a little further into the future, and frankly, just make the entrance more lively and welcoming, related back to, kind of making people feel happy about coming in the building, really trying to call out the school name a little in a little more highlighted way so that people see those kinds of changes even on the outside, although the project was predominantly an interior renovation project. In addition, then as you come through the doors, you see this change in the entry vestibule. So it's kind of dark, kind of closed in feeling space. Now this is very open all the way looking through into the school building, but it also has some enhanced security features so that when you come in the building, you loop through the administrative area so that we can make sure that only appropriate people are coming in the building and monitoring, making sure that someone can see what's happening, that students don't actually exit the building when they shouldn't be exiting the building. So the materials in the corridors were kind of old. The lighting was kind of old. So you see here on the right, some new floor finishes that really have brightened up the space. The new lighting, new ceilings has really made a difference. One of the other things that we did with the corridors and really throughout the school was to use color for orientation. So it will really help students be able to identify where they are in the building. The building is sort of a 4-square plan building, which means you can get a little disoriented in it. You sort of, am I in this wing? Am I in that wing? So we try to use color to help reinforce that orientation. So you'll see this is a different wing with sort of a different base color scheme behind it. So that was one way to try to help make this new, as well as things like new tack boards and such in the corridors so that student work can be properly displayed throughout the facility. This happens to be the corridor that kind of ties everything together. There's a lovely outdoor courtyard, which the school has some very cool turtles in. I love that space. And so this is in that corridor, the four colors are kind of coming together. And then these are some images of sort of the new main entrance with the interlocking tiles. So really just kind of creating a new character, upgrading it, hopefully making everybody feel sort of special and loved. And as they're proud of their space as they get to come into the space when they came back, I guess in April, I think it was. Of course, you know, besides sort of systems and big picture general overview stuff, we tackled all of the classrooms. So every classroom in the building has new flooring, new lights, new ceilings, new paint finishes, new doors, new door hardware. Some had some existing technology and that stayed if that was in good condition. If it wasn't, we replaced it with some new technology. So you can see that, as well as, again, this kind of color for helping to orient within the classroom and within the school overall. Another view of a different classroom setup. Here you see on the left, this blue kind of framework was there to help create some sense of privacy. A lot of students need to be changed during the course of the day. So each of the classrooms where that was appropriate, we've created changing areas that have a cubicle curtain around them so that there's a more enhanced sense of privacy and really, I think, a better experience both for the folks doing the changing as well as needing to help change folks. One of the key elements of this particular school is observation so that other people can come and be outside of the classroom, but be able to look inside of the classroom in a way where the student inside is not able to see what's going on. So we, in all cases, have upgraded the observation. This image actually it's not quite complete. We're putting a one-way film on there to allow people to see in, but students not to be able to see out, which will help with a more sort of natural observation. Really critical component in this building was accessible toilets. And that might not seem important to some people, but it is incredibly important when you're dealing with students who have wheelchairs and other assistive devices. And you have folks who have to be in there with them to help them. So really spend a lot of time and effort in making sure that these rooms are really going to accommodate all of the needs that the teachers and assistants have in the building. We took a space that was in the building, which is sort of a unique space, which was a workshop that was used to build some assistive equipment. That's actually been located in a centralized location, and the workshop wasn't really in use any longer. We were able to capitalize on that space and turn it into some other spaces that we needed within the building. So on the right, you see just part of the speech room, really setting that up with some nice casework to help support the activities that happen in the speech room. And then we also converted that into an additional larger life skills lab. So what you see on the left was really just what I would refer to as sort of a small galley kitchen that was being used to teach life skills to students. This is where this room would be set up to be similar to an apartment or home style kitchen, as well as some other living spaces, and really folks learning how to prepare meals, how to wash dishes, how to make the bed. So this picture that you see on the right there will be kitchen equipment. So we're expecting additional funding in July. As Ms. Blake said, there's a few things that kind of are still moving on through the course of the project. So when that funding comes in is when we'll be getting the kitchen equipment that you don't see in that picture. And then the last space that we were really able to convert from that workshop space was an expanded health suite. So you see on the left a little image of what the previous health suite was like. We now have a proper office space for the nurse to be in and be able to do work in a quiet setting, but also be able to observe through those windows what's happening with students who are there in the health suite. And then we also have additional cot spaces so that students have a place to be if they need to be in the health suite for maybe a more extended period of time or waiting for a parent to come pick them up. And we have a fully accessible bathroom with a roll-in shower. So that's really going to really help students who might have an issue, might need some assistance, or might need to shower or change in the course of the day. So super happy we are able to make that work for them. And then we also did renovation into the interior of the gym. So they have a very nice sized gym. It's got some great lighting already, natural light in it, which is always nice when you can have that in a gym. But it had seen sort of a better day in terms of the flooring. So we have a really nice flooring in there that has a little bit of a softer cushion to it, a little more comfort for the students, as well as just kind of repainted and brightened up the space with the lighting. A few upcoming milestones here left to do on the project that'll be worked on through the course of the summer. So each classroom will get a new built-in sink cabinet and some additional cabinets and cubbies. They are there, have been delivered. We're waiting for the end of the school year, and those will get installed over the course of the summer. And then, as we said, the furniture has been selected, and once that July funding comes into place, we'll be able to get that furniture PO issued and get that purchased and hopefully arrive in time for the start of the school year and change out some of that existing furniture for new. And then last but not least, sort of this is the floor plan of CE Rieg as it is. As I said, this is largely an interior renovation project. So we did change quite a number of spaces around in their configuration, and these areas in pink are the spaces that we really expanded, those toilet facilities, that sort of thing. But really one of the reasons we wanted to show you this is that there was maybe one silver lining to COVID. And that was that this project was intended to be a 6-phase occupied construction project where we were going to be working through this building and upgrading all of the things I just talked about with students and teachers in place in the building. And we were very aware that that was going to be a complicated little jigsaw puzzle. And I think one positive thing that came out of COVID was, with the building not being occupied for that period of time, we really were able to do the building in a much more holistic way without disturbing folks who were there, so that the things that we have left to do while the school year kicked back up again have been sort of the less intrusive work, and the things that we still have left to do can be held off until the end of the school year. So I will take my COVID silver lining as much as we can. So that's it for CE Rieg. Again, if you have any specific questions, please just put it in the Q&A. We'll get to that after, and I will stop sharing.